All right, let's talk
about a positive spin on content creation. Maze and Matic, he's a Madden streamer, video game streamer. He tweeted this.
This is too long. Let's just say the new college football game is coming out for the first time in fucking...
Well, what if people are listening? You only care about YouTube.
No, I'm just saying this is going to take 84 minutes.
About this
That's a big tweet. How did he even fit that all in one tweet?
Elon. Yeah, Elon has...
All right, so, read it, Jack,
yes, I'll summarize it. There's a lot of hype around this new college football game. There's a lot of FOMO going around, and everyone's trying to win their share of the public's attention. But his point was content creation is a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, you can take advantage of this game, but you will be able to it's the cream, always rises to the top, take a deep breath, and lock in for years. That's how you'll find your success. So I think this was really well done. It showcases two things that I'm a big believer in. Number one, that when the moment happens, when the iron is hot, you need to strike in that moment. So I do think we're going to see a lot of opportunity come right out of this game. And if you are one of those people, you're going to, this could change your career. Undoubtedly. I follow this guy, Bordeaux. He's well known on YouTube, but I don't think his Twitter presence was huge. He's gained 50,000 Twitter followers, putting out all the new tips, leaks, gameplay on all the modes, etc. So when something has this hype, absolutely capitalize on it.
To an extent.
What's that extent? I'm not saying cheat it. I'm saying, you should triple as long as the quality remains.
Quality, I'm talking more so the direction of your content. This needs to be aligned with what you're doing long term.
Correct. That's the second part is strike while you're hot, but you still have to have this long term vision.
Yeah, if you're doing college football content and you're a Madden streaming channel, of course, that makes sense and there's going to be overlap there. If you are Yanks Abroad and you're doing soccer content, right, and talking about content, you're I'm going to strike while the iron's hot because it's college football. Do that. There needs to be a long term plan with it. So I think strike while the iron is hot makes sense. As long as it's in the direction of what you're doing too. Because capitalizing on hype is just that. You'll get hype and you'll get attraction, you'll get engagement very early. And then you need to ask yourself, is this something sustainable? Is this something that I actually want to do? Because now the audience that I've built is coming to me for this specific subject or topic.
Yeah, so for EA College Football 25, we actually had multiple hours plus long brainstorms on what our content series is going to be for our video game channel. We broke down the game modes, we broke down the pros and cons of each, but at the end of each, and I actually didn't mind doing it at the end instead of the start, after we discussed what all the options were for the series, it was, do I want to do this?
Okay, this is a really good conversation just from us in real time. Yeah. Because we could have had the same conversation internally at our company because we have enough overlap where it's people would probably want to watch us play college football. Yeah. But then I think long term, okay, that means we need to have a permanent video game channel. When college football, when it's not fun to play anymore in 4 months, are me and Tony wanting to play fucking COD? Right. Do we want to play Madden? Do we want to play FIFA all year long? Yeah. And I'm that's not where our business energy is going right now. So Gut and JMO have their channel and they play games and stuff and they take it seriously, semi-seriously, on and off, and that could be an outlet for them. But this is where I'm saying it's a fine line and be careful because, again, I'm saying we have 1 million pieces of football content go out a month. That could easily just be another kind of cog in the system, and I'm actively choosing not to try to build hype around that because I don't think it makes sense for us long-term based on the resources we have available to us in other parts of our business.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do too many things. It's advice we give all the time, which is everyone thinks you're starting your creator world. It's get a TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And we've said before, it's actually just pick a platform, master it, dominate it, and then, build audience there. So I think that's another side point to that. Yeah, we'll see. We love playing video games, but we don't want to, we're not grinding Dynasty. That's not necessarily. Right. And the question is about scale. So one of my best friends watches our gaming videos, and he's this is the best content you do. It only gets 800 views or 2,000 views, and there's probably not monetization, and there's ROI is sub low, but that is the audience telling you, we love this content. So there probably is potential there. Yep. And at some point, it's make the content you want to be making. And maybe we stop creating content for 6 months once the game gets boring to us. But I think while you take the long-term approach, you don't always have to worry about committing to like, okay, I'm going to
I think if it's something you love, and that's why I'm like, for me, I'm like, I'd enjoy playing the new game, you know, maybe once a week or something like that. But it's not like playing ping pong where I could just get lost in playing that for like hours and hours on end. Don't care if it's content, don't care if it does anything. If someone wanted to film it, like make content out of it, be like, I start a YouTube channel, like literally put a video up every single day. Don't care if in 4 months we stop doing that.
Right.
So if you love it, yeah, for sure, go after it and go in with no expectations.
I think this tweet goes to a specific set of people who I actually want them. It's a set of people who are like, I don't know how I can even break into gaming. It's so saturated. It's so difficult. What's my angle? And this will make or break a few people. Not break. It could make a few new creators' careers.
You're right.
I think that's exciting.
And it's cool, too, because these types of opportunities, they don't come around super often, but when they do, obviously, if you're already in that mold, it's good to capitalize on it. I think the Drake-Kendrick beef is a really good example because all over, like, TikTok, my timeline, like, YouTube, everything was just reactions to all the fucking diss tracks going back and forth. And I would watch, like, all of them because I was, like, super zoned in on it. Yeah. And some of these dudes, these creators that did music reviews, and they were doing it for a very long time leading up to it. During those like few weeks, it was the only thing they focused on, and they doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on that type of content. And it was still true to what they were doing beforehand, but they just brought in the masses of people that were unaware that they were doing it to begin with, and their audiences grew from, I know a few of them that I was watching or came to be aware of during that time that were like 5,000, 10,000 TikTok followers, 6 figures now, 100, 200, 250, YouTube. Guys that I've been following for a long time that went from like 2 million subs to like 4 million subs in a month period, which is massive on YouTube, obviously. Like, those are the type of things that you do be conscious of. Again, we'll continue to say this as long as it's something that is in your, in your lane. Don't be afraid to put in like fucking OD work when that time does present itself, because that could be literally a life-changing moment for you.
Yes. When this happens and we find the creator that nails this, we'll follow their career a little and watch what happens when the game hype dies.
Yeah.
How do you sustain? How do you keep that audience? Are you really?
And if you had been doing it prior, then it's not like a huge pivot for you.
Yeah.
You just continue doing what you were doing prior to it, segueing back into whatever it was.
Yep.